Hello everybody and welcome to another mystery box function challenge. In this purple mystery box there is some math and your challenge is to figure out what it is. You can use the link in the description to try this out on your own, and when you've got an idea, come on back and see if we get the same thing. I'm going to begin with a 0. Okay, 0 gives us, well, that looks like a non-repeating decimal, so maybe square root, maybe trig. How about a 1? That's a plain old 0. Okay, how about a 2? That looks like another non-repeating decimal. So far it's just going up. I'm going to go pretty far out. I'm actually going to put in an 8. Okay, yeah, so we've got that slowly rising curve. So it's making me think of square root. Let's look in the negatives, see if we start getting some errors. Not at -1, another non-repeating decimal. How about -2? -2, interesting, gives us -0.5. How about -3? And that's -1. Well, that shape is very reminiscent of a square root function. Let's just keep going on the negatives. I think we're about to hit some errors, but let's see. Aha, yeah. So -4 gives us that not a number error that we see when you try to take the square root of a negative number. Let's just do a -9. Okay, also not a number. So here's what I think. I think this is the square root function. It looks like it's very shallow. It's rising very slowly. So I think there's a multiplier, and it's obviously been moved over. So it's been moved 3 this direction and 1 this direction. So if we think about the square root function, start sketching this out here. I'm going to leave room for a multiplier, but under the radical sign, that's where this movement is going to go. If we move in this negative direction, it's actually a plus. So I think that's x plus 3. The way to think about that, if it's confusing that it's sort of opposite, that this is a plus 3 when you're moving negative, think about putting in that -3. -3 plus 3, that's 0. That's this point right here where the function, well, at least the part inside the radical sign, is 0. So that's why we're putting in that +3 to make it start at this -3. And then it's been moved down 1. That's pretty easy. That's just, oops, not a plus. It's a -1 at the end of the function. And then what is the multiplier here? Well, I like to look one space along. So right here. And so when we put in a -2, think about this, -2 plus 3 square root, and then a -1. -2 plus 3 is 1. So the square root of 1 is 1. So we've got 1 and something out here. So something times 1 and then -1/2 has to equal -0.5. So I think that's 1/2. 1/2 times 1 is just 1/2. So 1/2 minus 1 is going to be a -1/2. And the shallowness makes me think it's a fraction less than 1, between 0 and 1 anyway. So 1/2 is a fitting idea. But maybe we should test this. 3 looks like a great point, or sorry, -3. So let's try that. So 1/2 times the square root of -3 plus 3, and that's where it's 0, minus 1. Well, this all is going to be 0, and then we've got a -1, -1. 1 also looks like a nice point to test. So 1/2 times 1 plus 3 minus 1. Well, 1 plus 3 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2, so 1/2 times 2 minus 1. Well, that's 1 minus 1. That equals 0. So I think we're good there. Maybe we can predict 1. So what would we have to put in to get a 9 under here? Let's put in a 6. So if I put in a 6, 6 plus 3 is, so 3 halves minus 1. So that should be 1/2 at 6. So let's try that. 1/2 at 6. And there it is. All right, I think we've got this. Let's go ahead and reveal. Yeah, 1/2 times the square root of x plus 3 minus 1. And we can graph that, and you get that square root curve, very shallow and slowly rising as it goes off towards the right. Well, how did that go for you? Were you thinking square root? Let me know. Thanks, everybody.